Hey guys, Zine here, and I'm on the TrollCraft server right now, and I've just barely finished updating the scoreboard and thought I might give you guys a little bit of a tour of some of the trolls that have been set up recently. Now, before I continue, I always want to disclaim that while these trolls haven't actually happened yet, that I will be waiting until the trolls have occurred and aired before I'll be releasing the video so that you guys can always get a chance to enjoy them on the proper channels through the main show before any of this comes out. So, that said, the first sets are actually done against CaptainSparklez. Okay, so I originally wasn't planning on doing a behind the scenes with any of these trolls, but realized that there were quite a few of them, and some of them were kind of more interesting to see, and so I recorded this. But I did record it in kind of a hurry. It was Thursday night, it was late, and I knew that Ian was going to be on and doing the Gertrude troll shortly on Friday, so I kind of needed to rush through and get everything done. As such, I apologize. Some of the editing is a little bit jerky, and there was one section that wasn't actually usable, and so that's why if there's a little bit of jump cuts, or and in particular right here at this moment from where I started the intro to where I get over to CaptainSparklez' house, I don't have a very good explanation. But all that happened, all that was missed was that I was going to go over and say, hey, we're doing this, but let's go over to CaptainSparklez' place. There's two reasons why we're doing this. And then I start listing off reasons. Okay, so I apologize again, but there are some great spots in the video. I actually quite enjoyed putting it together. I hope you guys enjoy as well. And yeah, here's the rest of the video. The first reason is, if you recall, I had asked Crainer to troll CaptainSparklez for me on my behalf because CaptainSparklez used teleportation in order to simplify a troll, the maze troll, from Crainer. Now, I know a lot of you were kind of, I don't know if upset's the right word, but you questioned that a little bit. It wasn't that he didn't solve the maze correctly. He did. He went all the right directions and got there kind of luckily, but he just chose the first path. It turned out to be the right one. That was not a problem. The point of contention, as it were, is that Crainer had specifically designed the troll to cause him a little bit of inconvenience walking back and forth. That was part of the point, because CaptainSparklez used teleportation in order to get around that walking back and forth. He arguably circumvented part of the intent of the troll. So, again, it's not about punishing him like, you're a bad person, I'm gonna ban you, or anything like that. It's all about having fun, right? So the entire point of this is, hey, it's just an opportunity for us to kind of troll him a little bit more and do something kind of fun and, not necessarily genuinely punish as in you're bad, but just have a little bit of fun because he decided to, bend the rules a little. I wouldn't even call it cheating, just bending the rules. So he did that, and I asked Crainer to troll him for me by sending him to a certain coordinate. Crainer didn't actually follow through with that, and I'm going to have to take care of Crainer separately for that particular offense, but that's still in the works, and I hope he looks forward to when that happens. But for now, I had to take matters into my own hands and set that up myself. The second thing is that CaptainSparklez created this beautiful, beautiful structure by way of his crystal globe through the MCA mod, and he didn't exactly do it in a ideal spot. It was sort of just floating out here. So along the same way, Crainer's previous TNT troll of CaptainSparklez had blown up half of his house, which he'd been replaced with spruce, and so it was partly pink wool, partly spruce wood, and looking a little on the poor side, and he had this floating structure out here with no mountain underneath it. So what I've done is I've come through, and as you can see, I've terraformed up a little bit, done the best that I can, and I suppose a little bit more time, a little more effort, we could get there. It is still a little square, but generally speaking, I think that it looks better than it did, and terraformed that up, brought that in, tried to make this look like it actually is built on the mountainside in a correct and proper manner, and then also improve Sparklez' home a little bit so that it doesn't look quite so shabby as well. Now that said, as usual, I am not a builder, and Sparklez' home that is on the surface is nothing more than a rectangle, so there's not a whole lot to work with there. But I did my best. The first one with the terraforming is I just filled in around the dirt and pieces and did all that sort of stuff. Now, if you actually look inside, I didn't fill in 100%. I could go and take a selection and worry about this, but I don't think anyone really cares that much. So we have the initial part that's just surrounding and kind of giving it shape. And then I added sections to try and smooth it down, grade it out a little bit, and just try and make it a little less square and obviously built straight up. And while that's not 100%, it did turn out okay. And again, it blends in, and it's a lot better than it did. One of the ways that I did that is I came down here and just grabbed a random section. I don't even know specifically where I popped, but I got them into World Edit and then copied them into the buffer there. And let's do that. And then I just kind of paste them against the wall. And I have to, I mean, this isn't science here. I'm not doing this an intricate way, but you kind of throw it in and then you blend it down, and you can just do that really wherever you want. As long and it kind of adds a little bit of a randomness to it that helps you to then mold back in. I'm going to go ahead and back those out because I like how it is before, but that was just reusing terrain that's already there to help to blend in the new terrain, right? So that was one part. So to recap on that, the second point of my trolling him was to take payment for the time that I spent kind of blending this in and fixing these up. On his main house, I added just little corners, just made it all into a wooden structure, and then gave him a big bay window made of clear glass, and really just kind of did what I could to make it look nice. I mean, and again, this is a rectangle, and I'm not a builder, right? So I'm not saying this looks nice. I'm just saying it looks better than it did. That was really my goal, and he can deal with it how he wants from here. But I gave him a chimney, I gave him some smoke, I mean, the whole thing. But I'm going to be kind of cautious here because his house genuinely is booby-trapped right now, and we definitely don't want to set that off so that I have to set the whole thing up. But if we come over to the back here, we might be able to find our way in, and I happen to know. So I gave him a pretty little picture there. For him to admire himself over the couch. I gave him a couch, and then I just gave him a fireplace because I thought this block was pretty cool. I also, frankly, I can't say that I think this is genius, but I thought it was kind of clever. I was trying to think of what to do with the fireplace if you were to stick your head in and look up. And finally, I decided that you should, if you're looking up a fireplace, you should be able to see not these things. So let's go ahead and clear that up. But you should be able to see sky. But there's not actual sky out there. If you come over here and look in, you can't see in. And we've got the smoke blocks coming in. I didn't want that. So I took some inverted sky blocks and put it up inside the chimney so that it looks like there's sky, but it's really just a type of block. I thought that was kind of clever. Maybe it's just me. But we gave him a chimney, or we gave him a fireplace, made it a little cozy in here, and then also put down the chest for him to find the message in. So I know that he is currently logged out in his basement. So when he comes up his stairs, he'll come and find this chest, and in it we have a book, The Home and Hearth by me, that will explain to him kind of just not really an explanation, but give him a little background on what's changed, why it changed, and what's about to happen. I don't really tell him explicitly because nothing actually is triggered by that. It's just kind of vague in the message, and you'll see it on his channel and in his videos what it is I say, but he'll finish with that, and then over here under at his door is where things get a little bit more interesting, because I have a pressure plate that's going to fire off these 3 command blocks. This command block is the command block that actually does the troll. The other 2 are purely to disable this command block once the troll has been done. So these 2 set different blocks of air, and one replaces the pressure plate with regular wood, and then another adds air, I believe, to this spot here so that there is no connection, because I don't want the troll to go off repeatedly. I only want it to activate once. And then this troll is the one that carries the troll that I wanted Crainer to do, but that Crainer didn't follow through on. And this will teleport him to a certain area that we'll go to here in just a second. But I want to finish the tour of the house before we get too into that. So we have the bay window, we have the trap in front of his door, and the pretty picture over the couch, and then the book explaining what's going on. So let's fix the house up, and then let's go to that location. Now, where we are is way far south, and you can tell that I've wandered around. The interesting thing about this mini-map that we've noticed is that it doesn't show appropriately based on different map zoom levels. So as I zoom in and out, different places will fill in, different places won't, but they are right up here. This is CaptainSparklez' house. This is the scoreboard, Ian's house, and Crainer's house. And I have teleported him down here. Now, the point of this troll is, again, to inconvenience him a little bit for skipping out on Crainer's troll with the teleportation. And then also, they have this really, really, really big, beautiful map. And I would like to get them to get a little bit more in their videos, some exploration shots, and just some scenic shots of this map. Because it is gorgeous, and it is huge. And frankly, it's too big. But I think that, you know, the people should see a little bit more about it. So I've timed it. It's not that big a timing loss for CaptainSparklez to get back. He can just beeline straight back, but he'll be able to have a couple vistas. I'd assume in editing, most of it will be cut out because it's just walking. But he'll be able to have some couple shots of just some of the gorgeous sections of this map and share it with you guys. So twofold. One, again, pay for the teleport, give an explanation for why I fixed up his house a little bit, and then also to try and get some of the shots of the map. As you might have seen, when I popped down, I have a chest and a little bit of book. It's just meat and hang glider. I know he has one, but I was also accounting for if someone else ends up coming here. But a little sign, thank you for choosing Troll Island Tours. And then I threw in a magnum torch in order to keep mobs from spawning, so he didn't spawn into the middle of a mass of people. I do have this magnum torch set up so that he can't get to it, he can't steal it. I used a couple different things for that. One, this is TrollCraft totem just to make it nice. But if you notice, there are squares highlighting in this empty air, and that's because it's a solid air block, and I'm planning on using this for a couple different trolls possibly. You can't see it until you kind of highlight it, but it blocks you in, and I think there's a ton of fun potential and ideas that I have there. But so I have the magnum torch surrounded by those, and then I have them warded using TrollCraft warding focus. So he won't be able to break through the warding, and that will keep him from getting in. So anyway, just a little security in order to make sure that's safe. And then he can go and fly back and just get back to the base. No big deal, and we'll have some shots. Everything's fine. So that's my troll form. But one of the things that I should probably say is I did accidentally break the server doing this, and that's my bad. But Kehaan was able to help me out and get it all fixed up. All right, so what went wrong was I was trying to set up these command blocks in order to disable the teleporting one. And I wanted to test to see if they were working right. Now, I didn't have at the moment a button or lever or anything in my inventory, so my thought was I will activate these command blocks and just turn them on, and they will add the air. They will do the things that I expect them to do in order to disable this command block, and everything will be fine. However, mistakes were made, and through one way or another, I ended up accidentally giving constant signal to the block right here, which teleports you away. The net result being, anytime I got within a point where this chunk would load, I would get teleported away. In fact, anyone would get teleported away. There was no way to approach this command block. There was no way to get anywhere where you could load Jordan's chunk or this chunk that has this command block without being teleported away. So that was my bad. We had to take down the server, turn off command block commands, which is a pretty easy change, but you have to actually take down the server. And then I came in, broke it, and we rebooted the server, brought it back up. No harm, no foul, but it was a little bit of a silly anecdote there. So that was my troll on him. The next trolls on him are from Crainer, and they're a little bit more deliberate. There's two of them, both of which are just kind of to get Jordan's attention, and there's a reason for that we'll go into. But the first one is that Crainer has decided that this bridge must die. I think that he got tired of everyone falling into it, including him in particular, and just filled it in, and now the top of it is booby-trapped with pressure plates that will fire off TNT that will blow up this bridge, and hopefully we can get it rebuilt, and then maybe we can all sit down, have a conversation, and agree as one, as a people, as a nation, as server members, to leave this dang bridge alone. But that hasn't happened yet. So, don't walk on the bridge is the moral of this story right now. That'll be an explosive revelation for Mr. Sparklez when he comes in. The other one is something that I wired up, and that is, but I wired up for Crainer, and that is a simple single TNT to detonate in the middle of his farm. The point of these are to get CaptainSparklez to want to troll Crainer, and namely not that Crainer wants those trolls, but more to keep CaptainSparklez from trolling SSundee until Crainer's troll is finished there. So these are inconvenient, but they don't really affect anything important, right? His farm's pretty easy to rebuild, and the bridge is the same way, which was already kind of a mess. So it's more just to kind of get his attention than to actually do damage. Crainer specifically isn't trying to really start a war with Sparklez or anything like that, but he does want Sparklez' attention while Crainer does his Ian troll. So the only thing that was really interesting about this setup here is that the lever is constantly on. It's constantly sending a signal here, and you can see this is the bluestone wire that's lit right now, and then under normal circumstances it would be redstone down here, and then that's all CaptainSparklez wiring himself down on that end, which is what holds the pistons up and stops the water. So when I was setting this up, I forgot to think about that, and consequently didn't have this piece right here when I wired everything together. Now this is a redstone torch that, because there's a constant signal, it deactivates the torch, and as such the portion that goes down to the let's go ahead and not fill that in, but the portion that goes down to the TNT right there, I wired everything up, and then I finally connected it to the end, and because that signal was already active, it set off the TNT. So I've rebuilt this already once today because I happened to do that wrong. My bad. So yeah, I needed to invert the power, but we got everything in place and it's all set and not a big deal.
You know what, actually, I haven't harvested wheat in a while, so I should probably do that because I'm not running super low on bread, but I don't know. Well, oh wait, I have a bunch of seeds in here anyway. Okie dokie. How did the other stuff get in here? Wait, what the hell? Let me frickin' see what's going on back here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's a good thing someone doesn't know how to use redstone. You idiot. Oh my god.
But the point of what we're trying to do here is, again, something that's fairly non-destructive. Yeah, it'll make a mess because it's dirt and it explodes well, but it really doesn't impact anything that's important, right? So the idea is, dear Sparklez, please focus on Crainer, leave Ian alone. So the big troll, though, is the one that Crainer's pulling on SSundee. It involved a couple different people, and I did very little of the work, just straight up, but I did want to kind of show you just how much went into it. It starts out with Crainer guiding SSundee with a couple signs heading him into this area where SSundee had been collecting his sewage, and we've added a section to this. Now, I will say that I did build this stairwells, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out, but we wanted creepy, kind of dark, evil overtones, right? So we have a blackout curtain here blocking the way in, and then you come in, and we've gone to suddenly this dark, broken stone, and these creepy vines, and these tallow candles that's blocking everything to kind of get in, and as it's overgrown, it's really kind of, I'm just happy with how it's filled in. Then you come down in this section, still more cracked area, you've got the bloodstains down, and then a button that is pushed right there. So back behind this button, we have several things that occur. The first thing is when he pushes the button, it's going to change his game mode to adventure mode. This keeps him from breaking blocks and not being able to kind of break out of the situation that we're putting him in. I know there's some question of people that have said, you know, is this really fair that we do this, that we don't do this? But keep in mind, some of these more elaborate trolls that are being done, like, part of it is seeing the entire process through, and so the number of command blocks that we give to the players, or letting them change the game mode. Like, they're not going to do that unless it's important to them that, you know, it's one of these more elaborate ones that they want to kind of see play out to the end. And so it wouldn't be nearly as interesting or fun if we were worried about, oh no, you don't have that many command blocks, so we're not going to let you, or you can't change the game mode. Like, we want to facilitate as much as possible that the players be able to have the fun and do the trolls in the way that they kind of intend. So, while on smaller things, it does make sense to allow them to possibly interrupt it or to have something go wrong, and there's an entertainment factor to that. On these kind of bigger ones, we want to be able to let them be empowered to do what they want to do. So, it kind of goes both ways there. Really, it's just about what do we think is going to be the most fun for you guys to watch and to enjoy. So, at any rate, we start out and we put them into adventure mode, and then we start a resource pack playing, and that resource pack has a sound file. That's how the sound files, the various different things are done. I push out updates, and I don't necessarily tell people what they are. They haven't heard it, so they don't know what are in the updates, but they do get a new resource pack, they install it, and then, you know, new sounds are added to the game that can be played. So after that happens, then there's a pretty extensive timing section here, and each one of these repeaters, you can see they are changed a lot in how many ticks the repeaters are set to process. The reason for that being that you have to keep in mind there's a sound file playing, right? So we want the signal to travel at the speed that paces with the sound file, and that's where everything can go wrong if it does go wrong, right? But so as the sound file plays, the signal moves along at a specific rate, and then it hits this section, which is going to replace a wall, this big black wall here, and open it up so that SSundee will be able to see, because he can't see any of this, keep in mind. So this is going to open up, and behind there will be the the Gertrude that is what Crainer's kind of showing. So as that's playing, the signal is again traveling down at the various repeater blocks and activating various events. We have command blocks that show Gertrude crying out, asking for help, and they remove those blocks so that Ian can find his way in, and then ultimately it ends up triggering water to come down and drown Gertrude while Ian is watching. Now, again, he is in adventure mode, so there's a couple things with that. One is he can't break most blocks, but he can break glass blocks, and so that was a problem for us. We had to figure out what glass can we use that he can't break through, because we wanted to keep him in. And we ended up coming with a pretty simple solution, which is, again, you can't see him, but those air blocks are now all over here. So I have a block right there that's it's the solid air that's keeping people out and won't allow him to break through. So he won't be able to actually get to Gertrude to save her, and so that will complete the troll. Oh no, and however he reacts, we don't know. But that is the basics of how that happens. Anyway, that's the basic premise. Is it goes through, and we tried a lot of different things while we were working on getting this blocked out. I had a command block underneath Gertrude that would teleport Ian away from here if he tried to get close. So he'd walk forward, and then it would pop him back. And it was just a really close radius teleport, so it was anytime he got within 3 blocks. The problem is even if he was out of teleport range, with how small this room is, he could still reach out and actually break it. And that's where we ended up going with the air blocks again, and they fortunately could not be broken in adventure mode. The interesting thing with those, though, is that lava will destroy them. So we kind of had a bit of a problem where initially I was trying to use air blocks as the glass, the enclosing glass, but the lava was just burning through it. And so we kind of had to think about that, and then eventually we figured a double-walled situation where we have the glass inside keeping the lava and Gertrude in place, and then the solid air keeping him from being able to break on through. So again, I did not do the timing. That goes to Crainer and his friends that figured that out. I mean, I was here and kind of helped. You know, I was part of it. I was involved, but really, he did all the hard work, and I just managed to decorate and kind of give suggestions on how to do the Gertrude yelling, those different pieces, while he did the main timing sections. So that's kind of the Crainer troll explained. It's not terribly horrendously difficult, but it is pretty intricate in terms of the timing and all the different pacings. So I'm really impressed with how he did in thinking it all through. I'm really impressed with his friends in figuring out how to get it applied, and really I'm just impressed in general with ourselves and how clever we are. So that is the trolls that are going on, and to circle back to why Crainer wants CaptainSparklez focusing on him, he just didn't want CaptainSparklez coming in here and somehow unintentionally setting this off. I don't think that would have happened with how it played out and how we ended up setting everything up, but we wanted to make sure. So that's why CaptainSparklez got trolled kind of hard to get him focused on Crainer, so that Crainer could pull off this big troll and his ongoing war with SSundee and the ever ongoing exploits of poor Gertrude, the star-crossed lover. So I think I'm going to clean up and put all this away. Again, I hope it all goes perfectly, but I do not know at this point. But that was the intention of how it all came together and what we've been trying to do. So in the meantime...
You know what? It was my own fault, and I understand why he did it. I completely understand, and I just want all of this to be over with. So here you go, bro. Have fun with Gertrude. Villain Crainer is officially gone.
Okay. Gertrude, SSundee, do something. I'm trying. Come with me. Follow me.
No. Only to kill her again, right in front of your eyes, Ian. You shouldn't have killed my daughter.
Crainer, you forgot one small detail, homie. You gotta put me in adventure mode.
Okay, so what genuinely happened there? Well, SSundee was incorrect in that we didn't apply adventure mode. That did happen, and you can actually see the updates in the bottom left corner of the screen where that game mode gets changed around. Also, if you're watching when SSundee initially sees Gertrude, he walks up and he hits those solid air blocks, and he pokes at him, punches at him, he actually pulls out his pickaxe and digs at him, and he doesn't get anywhere. That's all the section that we tested, and it was working exactly as expected. What we didn't think of and what we didn't try and do was we didn't test out adventure mode on those gloomy gray basalt blocks. And as clearly seen, it turns out in adventure mode you can still dig those. I assume it's some sort of coding thing with it being a mod block. I don't know why that is, other than just that's what happened. So we didn't think to test that brick wall, but we did make sure that he didn't get through. So all the things that we tested for and accounted for worked just fine. He was in adventure mode, he couldn't get through the air blocks. But unfortunately, one of the things that you kind of learn when you're setting these sort of things up or doing many things that involve other people is they approach it from a different mentality. They try different things. We didn't think to try and actually dig through the wall. SSundee did. Obviously, that worked out for him. He was able to save Gertrude. So adventure mode was applied. Everything we did, we accounted for, worked out perfectly. It was one thing that we didn't think about that kind of got us. So, well played, SSundee. Well played, as you would say. Anyway, so guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Behind the Scenes, the making of TrollCraft. Remember, I am Zine. You be your best self. Be sure to follow SSundee, Crainer, and CaptainSparklez on YouTube so that you can catch the main show. It is fantastic. I can't speak highly enough of it. And until I see you in the next video, you guys have a good day, and we'll catch you later. Bye.